Hey everybody, Economic Ninja. I hope you're doing great. I wanted to go garage sailing. Look at all this amazing stuff. I want a little of that. I want a little bit of that. But what we're going to talk to you today about is how I made my money buying things and reselling them. But we're going to focus on the buying part. And this is why I think it's so vital. It's learning how to make money and lots of it, right? And this is actually where I started. But then after a while, I built it up into side hustles that were making over $100,000 a year. And I want to give you some tips and tricks. All right. I do this, I get really more focused in the side hustle course on how to buy, how to sell, how to list things, how to start a side hustle, but then how to start a corporation, get the difference between that and a business license, then getting bigger and bigger. And then I talk about how to go from one side hustle to the next and building on that money and keep getting wealthier and wealthier. So look, let's do this. I'm gonna share a screen. This is where I started. The Ninja got to start selling electric trains back in like 1998. Now, I had side hustles. I had a baseball card shop when I was in high school. I sold candy to kids in junior high. That's why I'm so fluffy. But my point being is that I've been doing this for quite some time, and I started selling trains. Ooh, I want that one. Because I always wanted these. These were LGB trains. I could never afford them as a kid, but when I got married, we found a set that was 50% off at a toy store. And back then in 1998, there was this new thing 99, this thing called eBay out there. And I found out that I could buy one of these starter sets for half off and go list it on eBay. And even though I didn't have the money, and me and my wife didn't have the money to just buy these and have them under the Christmas tree, I started flipping them, selling them. 1 year later, I've got $20,000 in my hand, profit, pure profit, starting from $250. And I literally went out and I bought my first house. Now, since then, it's been crazy. I went during the Great Recession and I started a palm tree farm. It wasn't this big. I had it behind my track house, but I had 1,000 palm trees in little pots, and it was amazing, amazing moneymaker, $40,000 to $50,000 during the Great Recession. And then I'd sold bobcats, not these ones. I did look like this, and I did have that headband, but these ones. That made great money, but it wasn't until I really took that money, and like I said, from side hustle to side hustle to side hustle, and I started buying these bad boys, these ones, pretty much almost every single one here except for that one. I haven't sold these kind, but you get my drift. And we were making well over six figures a year in cash. It was great. But the point being is there had to be a starting point, how we bought stuff. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks right now that I think are very important. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned was being honest. I know it sounds crazy. I didn't go around lying, but a lot of people, between being honest and the second rule of being nice to the seller, is very, very, very important. I would literally be very kind, very considerate. I would speak in full sentences when I was in text. I wouldn't, still got it, and then not answer them back. I found that people that were reselling their items, they found that they were either trying to get scammed, people flaking on them. They just didn't want to be there anyway. So if I was the person that had a smile on my face, was kind and considerate, and not trying to talk them down and destroying what they have, like let's say, that basket. Let's say you wanted that basket, right? The first thing you do is walk up to the person and go, yeah, how much you want for that basket? And they go, $1. You're like, I wouldn't pay more than 50 cents. Now, that's not going to work out, right? Or what about the old adage? Well, I've seen it for 20 cents. That's not going to get you anywhere. One thing I've learned, and let's talk about the basket, and go, you know what? That's a beautiful basket. I'll tell you what, I've got 50 cents. If you'd be willing to take 50 cents, I'd be stoked. If not, no worries. And totally disarms a person. And they go, I'll sell you that basket for 50 cents. And you're like, Ninja, why are we talking about baskets? We're here to make some money. Well, I'm just looking around this thing. I'm like, we use an example. I mean, I don't need most of this stuff. So those are the number one and number two things: being kind and all that stuff, doing what you say you're going to do. Another thing I learned as the side hustles got bigger, I was actually honest with people, like really honest, like honest to a fault, most people would say, and say, all right, I'm going to give you a lowball offer and I don't want to insult you. Or I would say, I think your item is awesome. I'd love to make you an offer, but I would hate to make you an offer until you're ready to lower your price if you can't sell it. And then I would get the person to ask me, okay, what's your offer? And 9 times out of 10, as a matter of fact, it's probably 19 out of 20 times, it was a positive when I gave them the lowball offer. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that couch back there. Oh, I'm so bad at this. There, that couch. You're like, that thing looks amazing. It's only been sat in or slept in or lived in for about, I don't know, 5 years. It's probably got another 5 days worth of life out of it. And they're asking $100 for it. And I go, that is a really sweet chair. I think somebody literally lived their last few years in that chair. And we got a couple more days. I'd love to make you an offer. How much you want? And they say $100. I say, okay, here's the deal. I don't want to insult you with a lowball offer, but I'd love to share with you what I'd be willing to pay for it. I wouldn't be surprised if you sell it for your asking price, because I think it's worth it. But I don't want to insult you with a lowball offer unless when you're ready to, lower your price. Could you keep my number, my phone number? And usually they go, well, I'm already on the phone, or I'm right in front of you. We're standing at my house right now at the driveway. Let me know what your offer is. And I'd say, would be totally willing to give you 50 cents. $50. I'm not that kind of low baller, but I say $50. I'd love to give you $50 for it. But I'll tell you what, my offer stands right now. I got cash, or a month from now. And if you can't sell it, let me know. And a lot of people go right away, yeah, I don't want to take that little for the chair. I mean, look at that thing. That's a peach right back there. But then I would say this, and this is another thing that really helped out. I say, and I'll tell you what, if you get to the point where you don't want to deal with any other people walking up to your garage sale and kicking tires, or in this case, kicking that leg on the chair that I think may give out pretty soon. And are those cat scratches back there? Maybe I don't want it. But my point being is, I would say, if you don't want to deal with the tire kickers or anything like that, or deal with any more phone calls, let me know, and that thing's gone. And that right there always clenched the deal. They're like, home chicken with a weird haircut's right. I do not want to deal with one more person on Craigslist, Facebook, offer up, offer down, whatever. I don't want to deal with it. All I want to do is sit back, drink a cold one, and chill out. And so what you've just done is you've answered you've solved so many problems for them, right? And you put money in their hand. Another thing that doesn't work is when you fan out money. Don't do that. That's just like looking like a dork. Like sweet. Yeah, you're already here looking for a car for $5,000. We don't need you like whipping out 4,500 and just fanning yourself and your what kind of hair I got in this dream. Oh, my the party in the back, business in the front. What's it called? Put it down in the comment section. I don't know. Ninja's figuring out. We don't need you fanning your money like it's super hot outside. I mean, literally, it's probably like 60 degrees right now. You're fine. One thing I do, though, is I would literally say, I've came with this much money. I might be able to scratch up some more, but I'd be super comfortable paying this much, and totally cool if the answer is no, and maybe we could do a deal later. But I want to give you that option. And you've, again, just totally diffused the situation. Now, another thing that I want to give you as a pro tip, especially, let's use a garage sales example, and then we'll hone down in one specific area of buying. At the end of the day, I would drive around to garage sales, and I would literally offer someone a price for everything. And you know what's funny? At the end of the day, as people are starting to pack up, I go, hey, just curious, how much did you want for everything? And you don't gotta haul it to the dump. And right then, when I'm saying, I'm not trying to insult them, but they go, half this crap is going to the dump. It would literally be like $50 for everything. Now, would I haul it all to dump? No, I wouldn't. I would take half this stuff and go donate it to a local, Goodwill or something like that. I'd get a tax write-off, and, the stuff that I didn't want to sell. But out of the other stuff that I got from this, and I would be hauling truckloads away, I would be able to flip it and sell it and make great profit. All right. Now let's talk about something specific. Let's say you're into electric trains like me. I would go and buy up full collections, or what's called a quote unquote lot, LOT, a lot of stuff. And then I would separate it. It was the exact same way with tractors. When I had a tractor that I would be able to buy, and it came with 5 attachments, I would make the offer for the entire thing. And every time I sold the attachments, it paid for the tractor. The tractor was completely free every time. So the tractor was the gravy. And then ironically, I would use the tractor to load up the attachments on trailers as they were coming to pick them up. And then I would sell the tractor at the end. I would never buy a lot of stuff and sell it as a lot. There's so much money to be made when you separate these things. All right. So anyway, I want to give you guys some tips and tricks, because coming into Christmas and after Christmas, you're going to see people selling stuff just to buy Christmas presents. You're going to see people selling stuff because they got new new Christmas presents. There's going to be a lot of money to be made coming into tax season as people get their tax returns in their hand and they want to blow money. And you're going to be able to list things. I've got a video coming out on how to sell things, be more successful in selling. But I just want to see people putting dollar bills, $100 bills actually, in their pocket and being able to buy real assets with it. You're not starting out just in garage sales to be a garage sale flipper. I started in garage sales, like I said, when I first got married. It ended up going into homes, and then I went backwards into tractors, palm trees, and park model trailers, and I made more money doing that than I did flipping real estate. No joke, guys. There's a lot of money here. All right, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.